Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking specifically about the major scale and the pattern of notes that we use to make the major scale. The major scale sound, which is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's our major scale sound. So first we're gonna start with a couple new terms. We'll do whole step and half step. We'll begin with half step. When we're looking at a piano, we've got all the notes here. We've got the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C on the white keys, and then we've got the sharps and flats on the black keys. Zoom in a little bit. For the half steps, that means we're going to go over to the immediate next key. So if we were starting on C and we wanted to go up a half step, we would go to C sharp, also known as D flat. Two different names for the same note. It's kind of like if your name's Jonathan, some people might call you John, but you're still the same person. It's still the same note. And if we wanted to go a half step up from C sharp, we would go to D. It's the next key over. So we went from C to C sharp to D. And that's basically what a half step is. Let me give you a little pop quiz. If we start on G and we wanted to go up a half step, where would we go? If you said G sharp, you're correct. We went from G to G sharp. If we wanted to go down a half step, we would go from G to F sharp or G flat. So for our definition down here, a half step is one key away on piano. It's also the smallest distance you could go. There's nothing in between a C and a C sharp on the piano. Let's move on to the whole step. The whole step is simply two half steps. So two half steps. So if we were starting on C and we wanted to go up a whole step, we would first go up a half and then up another half, and we'd end up on D. If we wanted to start on, say, E, we'd have to go one half step and then another half step up to F sharp for our whole step. We can also start on a black key. So if we started on F sharp and we wanted a whole step, we would go from F sharp to G, and then from G to G sharp, and that would be a whole step. So that's our whole and half steps. Our major scale pattern is whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole half. So let's work this out. If we're starting on, let's pick another color. We're going to start on C. So we're starting on C, and we got to go up a whole step. So a whole step up from C would be D. So that's our next note. Now we need another whole step. So we're going to go from D to D sharp and then to E, and that's another whole step. Now we need a half step, so we're just going one key over. We're going to F. We need another whole step, so we're going up two keys from F to F sharp and from F sharp to G. That's our whole step. We need another whole step. We're going up another two keys from G to G sharp and G sharp to A. We need one more whole step, so we're going from A to A sharp, and then A sharp to B for our whole step. And then lastly, we need a half step, and that's just one key over. And there's our scale. Let's try it again, starting on a different note. Let's do a hard one, ha ha ha. So let me erase all this. Why don't we start on, let's start on C sharp. That's a tricky one. So our whole scale, whole and half step scale pattern is whole, half, whole, half. So we're starting on C sharp. We know that. We need a whole step. So whole step from C sharp is bam. Oops, my pen disappeared. All right, so we're going bam, bam. We're at D sharp now. We need another whole step. So we're going another 2 keys. Bam, bam. Now we're at F. And sometimes we'll call this E sharp, just to put it in technical terms, but E sharp and F are the same note. From there, we need a half step, so we're going up 1 key. We're going to F sharp. Now we need a whole step. We're going 2 keys. Bam, bam. We're at G sharp now. We need another whole step, another 2 keys, bam, bam. We're at A sharp. We need one more whole step, bam, bam. We're at C, also known as B sharp. And then we need a half step, boop, right up to C sharp. The reason why we tend to use E sharp and B sharp instead of F and C is because we want to avoid having more than one of each letter in the scale. So let's double check and make sure our scale sounds right. I'll play it on my piano here. So we've got C sharp, D sharp, E sharp or F, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C or B sharp, C sharp. And that sounds like the major scale to me. And there we have it. So if you don't have one of those charts that shows you what all the sharps and flats you need for each scale are, this is a way that you can figure it out yourself just using a piano. So let me erase all of this again. And you can feel free to take a screenshot so you can remember later. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave a comment or ask us in class. See you next time.